Livelihoods, its strength, power women and youth, planning every detail.
ආයුබෝවන් සියලු දෙනාටම සුබ උදෑසනක් ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා.
Good morning.
ගරු අමාත්‍ය වසන්ත සමරසිංහ මැතිතුමා ඇතුළු සියලුම රාජ්‍ය අමුත්තන් මෙන්ම ඔබ සියලු දෙනාගේම අවසරයි.
I do hope that this is an extraordinary occasion for the cooperative movement of Sri Lanka.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා සෞඛ්‍යකාර ව්‍යාපාරයේ සුවිශේෂී අවස්ථාවක් ලෙස මෙම වැඩසටහන මම විශ්වාස කරනවා. ඒ නිසා අපගේ ආරාධනය පිළිගෙන මේ අවස්ථාවට පැමිණ සිටින අද දවසේ ප්‍රධාන ආරාධිත අමුත්තා වන වෙළඳ වාණිජ ආහාර සුරක්ෂිතතා සෞඛ්‍යකාර සංවර්ධන අමාත්‍ය ගරු වසන්ත සමරසිංහ මැතිතුමාව ඉතාම ආදරයෙන් ගෞරවයෙන් යුතුව මේ අවස්ථාවට පිළිගනු ලබනවා.
Therefore, I warmly and sincerely welcome Honorable Vasanta Samarasinghe, Minister of Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development.
එසේම සෞඛ්‍යකාර සංවර්ධන නියෝජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය උපාලි සමරසිංහ මැතිතුමාවත් වෙළඳ වාණිජ ආහාර සුරක්ෂිතතා අමාත්‍ය ගරු ආර්.එම්. ජයවර්ධන මැතිතුමාත් ඉතාම ආදරයෙන් පිළිගනු ලබනවා.
Honorable Upali Samarasinghe, Deputy Minister of Cooperative Development, and Honorable R.M. Jayawardena, Deputy Minister of Trade, Commerce, Security and Cooperative Development, for participating in this rare and valued occasion.
ඒ වගේම අමාත්‍යංශයේ ලේකම්තුමා ඇතුළු සියලුම රාජ්‍යාංශයේ නිලධාරි මහත්මයාණන් සෞඛ්‍යකාර සංවර්ධන කොමසාරිස්තුමිය ඇතුළු සියලුම පළාත් සංවර්ධන සෞඛ්‍යකාර කොමසාරිස්තුමාලා තුමියන්ලා ඉතා උණුසුම්ව මේ අවස්ථාවට පිළිගනු ලබනවා.
And also I warmly and kindly welcome the Secretary of the Ministry, including state officials, Commissioner of Cooperative Development, including officers, and the Provincial Commissioners of Cooperative Development.
ඒ වගේම අපේ සෞඛ්‍යකාර ව්‍යාපාරයේ සුවිශේෂ අවස්ථාවක් ලබා දෙමින් මේ අවස්ථාවට පැමිණ සිටින ජාත්‍යන්තර සෞඛ්‍යකාර සංධානයේ සභාපති ඒරියල් ගවාකෝ මහත්මයා පිළිගනු ලබනවා.
Furthermore, I warmly and kindly
distinguished delegates, cooperative leaders, policy makers and friends. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 12th ICA Asia and Pacific Cooperative Forum, being held alongside the 17th Regional Assembly here in beautiful place Colombo, Sri Lanka. I would like to recognize the presence of Honorable Vasanta Samarasinghe, Minister of Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development. Minister, thank you for your good support to Sri Lanka cooperative movement and to this regional assembly. I wish to thank Mr. Sarat Virasri, Chairperson of the National Cooperative Council of Sri Lanka, and our host organization, the Sanasa Federation, the Department of Cooperative Development, the Matra District Cooperative Hospital, and the National Institute of Cooperative Development for their generous hospitality and exemplary cooperation in organization this gathering. Sri Lanka, with its rich cooperative tradition and commitment to rural development, provides a most fitting venue for our deliberations. As you know, the International Year of Cooperative 2025 for Asia Pacific Cooperative launched in Japan. Today, we meet at a historic moment as we mark the culmination of the International Year of Cooperative IIC 2025 under the United Nations theme Cooperative Build a Better World. IIC 2025 was officially launched in New Delhi, November 2024, and earlier this month at the UN World Social Summit in
regional headquarters. The United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific is based in Bangkok, and we have 63 members and associate members, 54 countries and 9 territories, and all the members of ICAAP plus additional are members of UNSCAP. So there's a tremendous synergy between the work that we do and the work that ICAAP puts in. Now there's a reason why the International Year of Cooperatives was meant to promote the entire concept of cooperatives throughout the Asia-Pacific region, raise awareness of their contribution to social and economic development, support member states in their efforts to implement the International Year for Cooperatives, and above all, highlight the contribution of cooperatives to the achievement of the SDGs. We have done through various events, but as you will see, there's a lot of work left to be done. The incredible work being done by cooperatives and their contribution to the SDGs needs to be aired to a wider audience and on a larger scale. And I think the partnership between the United Nations and ICA should be, I think, are looking forward to strengthening it and really moving towards a much more sustained cooperation. There's a reason why we are such natural partners. If you look at the core principles of the cooperatives and that of the SDGs, can you think of a more natural alignment? Cooperative promotes solidarity and inclusion. One of the best ways, leaving no one behind is the biggest slogan in the 2030 agenda. And solidarity and inclusion that is promoted by cooperatives is the best way of doing it. Democratic governance, the grassroots level bottom-up approach is something that is at the heart of the 2030 agenda and something that is also at the heart of the cooperative movement. The ownership by the community, by the people who are members of the cooperatives, this is also at the core of the way the cooperatives are run. And last but not not least, in the context of the challenges that we are facing, cooperatives address the triple P's, the triple bottom line of people, planet, prosperity. And people are at the center. Planet equally important, but prosperity only comes by looking at the interests of the people. I was very enthused by listening to the minister as well as the president of ICAP, because you made my job very easy, sir, by mentioning and echoing a lot of what I'm going to say now. But I'm going to put some data behind what I'm saying from a regional perspective. ICAs continue to...
And after the war, while there were billions of dollars invested in development, reconstruction in many ways remained a failure. Because just with financialization and the building of infrastructure, people's livelihoods do not come back. And out of this failure of reconstruction, many of us started searching for an alternative. And some of us are convinced that that alternative for development has to come from the cooperative movement. Because Sri Lanka, as the Honorable Minister mentioned, has a long history of cooperatives. Even though there was destruction by the war, many of those cooperative structures remained, and it is very much there in our memory. And I will tell you a few landmarks of that history. The first cooperative hospital in South and Southeast Asia is from my home area, Jaffna. The Mulai Cooperative Hospital started in 1936. At a time when Sri Lanka did not have free education or free healthcare, the Mulai Cooperative Hospital provided services to many backward villages in that area. And when I went and visited the Mulai Hospital, where in fact even my brother was born, after the war, I found that a diary, a visitor's diary, that the general manager had managed to keep with him while displacement during the war, had entries from the 1940s, 1950s, by cooperators from Japan, by cooperators of Vietnam who had visited the Mulai Hospital in the 1940s and 50s. There is that kind of international connections. In the 1940s and 50s, the Jaffna Malayalam Tobacco Cooperative Society was already exporting tobacco to Kerala. So we had already been doing exports 78 years ago. The Reserve Bank of India sent a committee in 1948 to study the cooperative movement in then Ceylon, and they highlighted the strength of the movement, including the cooperative movement.
Samana Singh, Mr. Sidi Rasidi, National Council Cooperative of Sri Lanka President, Dr. Chandrapal Singh Yadav, ICA Asia Pacific President, Mr. Srinivas Tata, Director UNSCAP, Bango, Mr. Balasubramanian Iyer, ICA AP Regional Director. Dear colleagues from the Global Board of the ICA, dear colleagues from the Asia and Pacific region, it is a truly honor to be here with you once again, sharing this beautiful day. Beyond the joy of seeing many friends from this region, I am especially delighted to be here for the first time in the Republic of Sri Lanka, this beautiful country that I have long wished to visit. I want to extend my sincere thanks to our host for welcoming us so warmly. As we all know, we are approaching the end of the International Year of Cooperatives, a year full of activity, with dynamic agenda in every continent and in every sector where the International Cooperative Alliance is present. This forum that you have organized is, without a doubt, an excellent way to conclude the journey we have traveled together in 2025. And I would like to share with you that, for us, this is not an end point, but rather a beginning. That is why I celebrate this gathering and, in particular, the themes that will be explored and enriched by the distinguished speakers who will join each panel. Access to capital, advocacy for stronger legal and institutional frameworks, and investment in digital communications are, among others, key priorities in the agenda ahead of us, and they will undoubtedly strengthen our position in today's global context. This year has encouraged us to bring the most pressing global issues to the forefront and to deepen our strategic alliance, because we know that none of humanity's major challenges can be solved alone. And this year has to reaffirm clearly and conclusively the social, economic, cultural and environmental impact of our cooperative model. Not for us, who already are convinced of its values, but for the United Nations, for the organization with its ecosystem, and for a growing number of governments that increasingly view cooperatives as a key tool to address widening social inequalities, environmental imbalance, economic instability, and cultural tensions within nations. When your organization first conceived this forum at the beginning of the 21st century, you surely did so with the purpose of addressing together the great challenges of that moment. Today, a quarter of a century later, we can say that the world has lived through